Spice Rat, where you at? Hey Spice Rack, it's your girl Spice. Today I am going to do something a little bit different that I hope that I can start doing more often. And this video series will be like a top 5. So it might be my top 5 best, top 5 worst, happiest, saddest, whatever the case. But today I want to share with you my top 5 best childhood memories. Because I feel like it's a good way for us to get to know each other a little bit better. And just to share things that make us happy. Because as you could tell earlier this week, if you saw my video about my mom, this was a hard week for me. I was a little sad, a little down. And then it started me to thinking about things that I did when I was a kid or things that I did with her when I was a kid. And so these memories popped into my head and I was like, I'm going to share that with my Spice Rack. So one thing you'll notice is that a lot of my memories include my cousins. So there were 5 of us that my grandma took care of all of us. So there was my cousin Greg, he's the oldest. Then it was me, my cousin Catherine, which is Greg's sister. My brother Nick, who was my brother, and then my cousin Kim. So those 3 were siblings, and then me and Nick were siblings. Courtney came way later. So we were the ones that grew up together at my grandma's house. We were there Monday through Friday together while our parents were at work. Sometimes we'd go to our own houses on the weekend, and then other times we'd have slumber parties, but then we'd all see each other again on Sundays because we all went to the same church. So we were raised as kind of like siblings, and we're very close up until we got to like junior high school, and then people started riding the bus and doing that kind of stuff. But we spent a lot of time together, so you'll see there's a couple of my memories that definitely include them. So that's what I'm talking about when you hear me say the cousins. The first one that I remember that was so special and so much fun is I think we knew we were going to go on a trip, but we didn't know that everybody was going. So let me set this up. My mom tells us, you're getting picked up from school, which was not normal. We always rode the bus home to my grandma's house. We used my grandma's address for school so we could go to the school in her district because it was just a better school. And because she was our babysitter, we rode the bus to and from her house. But that day, my mom said that we're going to stay after because they're going to come pick us up. And I just thought she was talking about me and my brother. Well, after school, Greg and Catherine and Kim, was Kim there? Well, I know for sure Greg and Catherine, we were standing outside and we realized, oh, you're getting picked up too? So I'm thinking my mom's coming for me and probably going to just take them and we all going to go back to my grandma's house. Well, our van pulls up and my dad is in the van, which was like a real shocker because normally he was at work. And then my grandpa comes and my grandpa and grandma came in their car. And so we're like, what's going on? And they tell us that we're going on a road trip to Disneyland. Can you believe that? They surprised us with a trip to Disneyland. We drove all the way to California and went to Disneyland together. It was so much fun. And I don't really remember so much about the trip to Disneyland, but it was more about, I remember the ride down because, we would switch cars. I'd ride with my grandma and maybe Catherine, and then Greg would ride in our car. We would just be at every pit stop, we'd be switching cars or switching who we're riding with. And we just had so much fun being together. It was just oh my God, we're going to Disneyland together. That was the more excitement. I think more exciting than actually going to Disneyland, even though we had a great time there. But I just remember having so much fun with them and being with them all the time. We're all grown now, so everybody kind of does their own thing and we don't see each other nearly as much. But when we were kids, they were our peeps. That was just, if you saw one of us, you saw 5 of us. We were always together. So yeah, that's probably one of my very, very best childhood memories. And I think too, it was one of the memories that included my grandfather who has passed away. He passed away my senior in high school. And my grandpa, he just played a huge role in all of our lives. He was just an amazing guy. But just having those memories of them fussing in the car because my grandma couldn't really read the map and he was getting frustrated with her. And then my sister would cry, my little sister, Courtney. So all 5 of us were really steps. We were a year apart. And then Courtney came 5 years after the youngest one. So She was a baby when we were on this trip, and she cried. When I tell you, this child cried the entire ride. The only time she didn't cry is if she was having her Taco Bell, because that girl loved her bean burrito, or if they let her out. And it was just pure hell. That part was like, I'll switch. Can I switch? Can I ride with Grandma? Because it was like, Courtney, if you don't stop crying. She cried the whole way. She hated to be in her seat. Besides that, I remember having a wonderful time. We got to meet our other cousins for the first time that lived in California. We'd never met them before. They introduced us to Red Hot. Go ahead, Tika, Onward, Landy. They were the ones that introduced us to Red Hot, and I have never not had it since. I literally put that on everything. It was just a fun trip. Like, we got to meet more family, spend a lot of time with family, and also on top of that, go to Disneyland. Can you beat that? I don't think so. So when I was about 4 years old, I was, I forget where we were at. I think we were at church. And I was talking to my mom, and I like turned my head a certain way. And she was like, do that again. And there was some bulbous bulb coming out of my neck that she like freaked out about. They took me right to urgent care. And then from there on, they decided I needed to have surgery. And I had some kind of, I don't know if it was a deformity, but it was some type of a mass that normally will dissolve once you get to like 2 or 3. But mine didn't. It like morphed into some weird thing that was coming out of my neck, and it had wrapped itself around some really vital organs. Some of the possible complications would be that I might go blind, I might have a hard of hearing, or not be able to speak so well because this thing had wrapped itself around all of these nerves that affected those actions. So I ended up having surgery, and I don't know, sometimes you guys, if I'm getting close, you can see I still have a scar there, and the faint one is up here, but the big one, you see that? And it kind of makes me self-conscious because of the cuts. My neck always has this kind of like a roll to it because of how I'm cut there. And so it always makes me look like I have a fat neck. Even though, I mean, we know I ain't skinny, but my neck would not be this. It's those cuts that kind of help make it look like that. Anyway, I digress. So I was having surgery. I was only like 4. And I remember waking up and I had gotten these Care Bear slippers. And they were pink. They were the ones that had the rainbow, the Care Bear that had the rainbow. I forget his name, but they were pink. They had his face on them. The whole body was like, the whole shoe was like the rest of the body. I mean, when I woke up from surgery and saw those slippers, I was so happy. Like, it just was like, I was 4 years old. All I remember is being 4, and I got these Care Bear slippers that I'm sure that I'd probably been asking for, but it was just the best feeling ever. I don't know why they gave them to me, probably because, I mean, I'm 4 and I'm having surgery. But when I woke up and they were on my feet, oh my gosh, that was just the happiest moment for me. And I'm 37 now, and I remember that distinctly. Number 3. So again, one that involves the cousins. It was my birthday, and I was lucky to have a birthday in the summer, so I got to have birthday parties and people could come because it was during school break, so everybody was kind of available, and it was always nice outside, so we'd have parties outside because my birthday's in August. Well, this particular party, I got like, my cousins, of course, always were at our birthday parties. We all went to each other's birthday parties, but I got a cool hat from, who gave me that hat? I can't remember who gave me the hat, but it was this cool hat that had like a rim around it and a bow, and it was black. And I was wearing this hat with this Bart Simpson short outfit that I got for my birthday. And my mom was like, oh yeah, you can go change and put that on. And I go and change and get dressed. And then my grandpa says that my other part of my gift was he was taking all of us that day to a Mariners game. I'm from Seattle, so the Mariners were a big deal. And that was back when Ken Griffey was playing. And that was like, we knew and loved us some Ken Griffey. We all collected those little trading cards and stuff. And so he took us on my birthday, all 5 of us grandkids, to the Mariners game. That was so much fun. And my grandpa was good for that. Like, he would take us on little excursions and little surprises. But that one was just like, it was your birthday, plus you got the surprise to go to a Mariners game. And that was my first Mariners game. And like I said, back then, Mariners were the business. So that was exciting. I will never forget that. And I think I'll never forget the outfit I was wearing because I thought I was so cute. I had this black hat on with my Bart Simpson outfit and these like patent leather shoes that had the lace, they were actually like lace shoestrings. You know, remember that look. You know the 90s. Thought I was too cute, girl. Couldn't tell me nothing. Okay, this one is very sweet too. Like I've shared with you guys that we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And so we got majority of our gifts or like our clothes and stuff at birthdays and at Christmas time. And it was very rare that you would just get like a new outfit in the middle of the school year, unless it was for like the sports you were playing or you had a special event, like something for church. Like church, you could probably get a new outfit for pretty easily, but not just because like an everyday outfit. So I was in 7th grade and it was my first 7th grade dance. And I was like so nervous to go. And you know, back then in 7th grade, nobody's going with the date. You're all going together. The girls dance together, the boys dance together. And my mom came upstairs and was like, hey, I have something for you. Because I'm like getting ready for my first school dance. And she gives me this shirt. And it's this beautiful like floral shirt. It comes off your shoulders like this. It had like a little, you know, it kind of had like I don't know what you call it, but this part kind of lifted up, but it was just like an accent to the shirt and it was really pretty. And I had these jeans that would match it perfectly. It kind of looked like my bed. The purple on my bed, like it just was purple and like had some maroon in there and it was all just so pretty. And she got me this shirt because she's like, everybody deserves to feel pretty on their first dance. And I will never forget that. It was just such a like, I was so excited to get a new outfit and to be going to a dance and I felt so cool and oh, it was so much fun. Good times. And I tell you what, after that dance, I wore that shirt at least once or twice a week. Like it was in heavy rotation. I love that shirt. Okay, and the last one, again, this has to do with my cousins. And it was just one of those that kind of popped up in my head that was so funny. So me and Greg were the oldest. So a lot of times we got put in charge of these 3 younger kids who really didn't listen to us at all. And so one day my grandma had just gotten done mowing the grass. And you know, back then, I don't know how it is now because I haven't mowed the grass in years, but back then, like you'd have to go back and rake up the old grass. And like my grandma would put it in the pile and they'd burn it, or sometimes she'd put it in bags, but she'd rake it up and put it in these piles. So it was a hot day. We're out there playing after she had mowed the grass, and the 3 younger kids, Catherine, Nick, and Kim, they decided they wanted to play in this pile of grass, this old dead grass. And me and Greg were like, you better not play in that grass. We were like, you better not do that. Grandma's going to get mad. And they're like, you're not the boss of us. We can do whatever we want to. And they're literally like pouring this grass all over their face, their hair. And we're all black children. So grass in your hair doesn't just shake out. Like it's a mess. So they're doing it forever. It seemed like they just kept on doing it. And me and Greg are literally sitting under the big tree just watching them like, ooh, you gonna get it. And we were like, my name's Bennett, I ain't in it. We stayed out the way. My grandma came out and of course she was mad. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Who told you to do that? And then asked us like, why did you let them do that? And we're like, we told them not to do it, but they did it anyway. Said we wasn't the boss of them. Whoop-de-whoop. So she made them strip down naked in the backyard, took the cold water hose and sprayed their naked butts, literally sprayed them down from head to foot. Because she was like, you ain't come in my house tracking all that dead grass. And they're out there literally crying and screaming so loud because they're just like, for probably embarrassed, but 2, freezing cold. Because, you know, spout water is never warm. It's always cold. And she just sprayed them all down. And me and Greg were dying. We were laying on the grass just watching, cracking up. Like, we told you. We told you. That was so funny to me. There's so many more, but those are the ones that really just like, whenever I think about my childhood, those are the ones that pop in my head. So I wanted to share that with you. So now, who is going to share that with me? Leave it in the comments if you have a favorite childhood memory. I would love to hear about that from you. And yeah, let's see. Who can I tag to do top 5? I am Kiva. I'm calling you out, girl. I want you to do top 5. Kiara's Journey. Can you handle it? Can you handle the top 5? And let's see who else. Alyssa W. Girl, your turn. I'm tagging my boy Crazy Keith because he tagged me in that hamburger challenge and I got to get that done. So I'm going to tag you, Crazy Keith. Top 5 childhood memories. And anybody else who would like to do it, please do. Please put in the top 5 childhood memories. Feel free to tag me so I can make sure I watch it. Yeah, I would love to hear about it and hear more of stories from y'all. And if you don't want to do a whole 5, just write in the comments some of your best memories. I'd love to read them. You guys have been so great for coming back and again. I really appreciate you. Spice Rack, you know you my people. If you ain't a part of the Spice Rack, I don't know why not. Come on, y'all. It's fun over here. Y'all know what to do. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let your girl know how you like the video. And I will see you guys really soon. Bye, guys.